Namaste, everybody. On behalf of Indo-American Academy for Classical Music and CarnaticLessons.com, we have a special guest today in our studios, Blase.
Let's do this!
This is Lakshmi Narasimha Vijay Rajagopala Sheshadri Sharma Rajesh Raman, but you all know me as Blase.
He's a fantastic artist. I have great respect and regards for him because he's a visionary. He brought the rap singing into the Indian music scene, especially in the Indian movies. He has worked with all legends, including A.R. Rahman and most of the Ilayaraja and all the music directors. Which we will talk more. Welcome, Blase.
Thank you.
And I think
that's the way we say hi in rap.
Oh, that's great. I'm really happy that you are here. And usually we have recorded a lot of legends in this series. Usually they talk about their work and their music and how give tips to our students. I teach music, flute and vocal and through this website. So all the students are like our interviews. So I'm really happy that you were able to take little time and do this.
No, it's a blessing to be here. Thank you.
So usually whenever we have our artists, I always ask, can you please sing a song? I'm going to ask you to rap a little bit so that the students know what it's all about.
This is something they probably know. It's everybody wanna know what I feel like I really wanna be here with you. It's not enough to say that we are made for each other. It's love that is Hosanna true. Hosanna, be there when you're calling out my name. Hosanna, feeling like my whole life has changed. I'm never gonna be the same. It's time we rearrange. Flute Raman one time, I'm calling out to you. Hello.
That's I've heard this song. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is such a famous song. One of
from Vinayta.
Oh yeah, one of A.R. Rahman's musical. It's amazing that we were able to sing this for our audience. So can you please talk a little bit about your background? I'm so curious. Like, what's your background? I know you studied here, but what made you to learn rap? I think you were self-taught.
Yes, I grew up in Zambia, Africa, and that was home for 25 years. So that's where actually the rap and all that came about because all my friends were into rap. We started with breakdancing.
Wow.
And then we moved to rap. But my first rap song that I wrote was actually not even a rap. It was a poem that I'd written for the presidential elections in Zambia.
Wow.
And I just penned a poem, and then my father, that's why I know Flute Raman is going to be a part of Rap Bhakti Mala because his name is Raman.
Wow.
So my father saw that poem and he said, hey, I have a friend in the office who's on a wheelchair, but he plays the guitar really well, K.J Yesudas. So he brought him home one afternoon, that next afternoon, and he said, my son has written this poetry. Why don't you play something and let him just sing it? So rap is R-A-P, rhythm and poetry. So I had the poem, I just needed a rhythm. And he gave us the rhythm, and then my father took us to the TV studio, and that became Zambia's first rap song by an Indian kid sitting there.
Wow, amazing. How did you get into writing
It's when you write a song, it's like 8 sentences and you can explain it. But in a rap, you have the freedom to write 64 lines, 120 lines. So you can really express every little bit of thought that you have, and it just has to rhyme at the end. So it makes it interesting to find syllables that will keep it going.
So amazing. Yeah. So I guess the most of the songs which you have worked with all these famous music directors, you write your own segments, right?
Yes.
Can you please talk a little bit about, I know you have worked on great movies all my kids and many of my friends, they listen to your songs. So can you please talk about your favorite songs, how you got introduced to A.R. Rahman?
My first song for Rahman was Baba Rap,
Okay.
which is for Rajnikant's movie Baba.
Wow, that was
And-
a big movie, and you were on that. Oh,
Yes.
1, 2, 3, yeah! I'm a man on a mission with ambition as I hear the beats coming to an Indian tradition with a plan to make the whole world safe and free. The name is Baba, yeah, that's me.
And it was just a 1.5 minute rap. But I go to the studio and he just said, okay, actually before that I was working at a job in Bombay at a radio station, and I got a call, and this was, the dream call that you're waiting for. So I had to leave that night to come to Chennai.
wow.
I was in Bombay, and my boss at that time said, you can't just walk out of here. If you leave, don't come back. So that day,
That was a
I
decision
quit.
making.
Yeah, I
You
quit
quit
the
your
job.
job.
I went to Chennai. I recorded through the night. Morning after breakfast, I was back in Bombay, and I had no job, no idea whether this was
Wow.
going to work. My parents were in Zambia, and they said, "How could you just leave a steady income thing?" And I think that's the risk that you take, but somewhere you know that God's got a plan for you. You just
Wow.
gotta follow
So
it.
how did Rahman hear
So,
about you?
Basically, to all the kids who are watching out there, nothing happens overnight. So
See, this is a great tip for all the students, because students usually they practice one day and then they expect magical results. Yeah, that's a great tip.
yes, because I started rapping in 1991.
Wow.
And I had it in my own scheme of things that by the year 2000, by the millennium, if I didn't have a #1 Billboard chart song,
Wow.
I wasn't going to do this anymore. And 1999 came, December 31st came, I didn't have a Billboard song. And I stopped. I said, okay, that's not going to work out. I've been rapping so long, never got a break. But then I moved to Bombay and I got a job. I finished my BA cinema degree here at Columbia College.
Wow. So you did your cinema degree here?
Yes,
Okay.
in editing, directing, lighting, scripting.
Wow.
And once I went to Bombay, I was working for MTV as a producer. And over there, in 2000, I picked up a CD cover. I looked at the back, it had Panchatan Records address. I sent a tape at that
Wow.
time. I said, hi, this is Blase Zadala, I want to do that. 1 year passed. I never heard back. I forgot about it. And then the next year, Shivamani came.
The famous
was in
drummer.
Bombay.
Oh.
Yeah, my brother Shiva. So he was in Bombay and he called me in the middle of the night at 4 a.m. saying, near Siddhivinayak temple, there's a studio there. AR is here right now. Come. So I got up, rushed, went there, again met him. And he said, okay, just said hi, gave him a CD again. Said, hey man, I wrote to you long back. I'm a rapper, this, that. Said, okay, nice, hi, goodbye. And then another year passed.
Wow.
So still nothing happened
So
then.
patience is the key,
Perseverance. Yeah, perseverance is the key.
Yeah.
And at that point, my wife now, at that time she was working with Sony Music and they were doing a project in Chennai. So then I told her as well, like, hey, when you meet Rahman, just remind him, it's been like 2 years since I got in touch. And she went down and she told him, and at that moment, instead of listening to the CD or anything, he said, you know what? Tell him to come tonight, I have a project. And that's when I had to
Wow.
decide whether I wanted to give
That's
this
a big decision making. That's a big call, which
Yeah.
really.
But even after doing that Baba rap, and I was back in Bombay, it took at least 5 days when I was sitting there with no job, no idea of what could happen, until Rajnikant had come to the studio, heard it, and all the music was out, except the movie was to be released. in
Wow.
August.
Huh.
So then they changed all the promos, all the trailers to put this Baba rap in it.
Oh my goodness.
And that's when
Blase came into my life probably 6 years back. Silvermoney introduced him to me, and at that time, I wanted English lyricist, I wanted a rapper, and he just fit in the bill.
Such a great thing. You're a lot of imagination. You write your own lines, and it comes on a movie. How do you feel when you see that happen on a movie, and when
that's the beauty of Indian cinema, because when a Rajnikant flips a cigarette and just says something, it just blows your mind away. So and the illusion, the fantasy,
Yeah.
I think it makes it a million times bigger when you see an actor
yeah,
doing that.
yeah.
So it's great. It's amazing. I mean, yeah.
How was it working for other directors? You said you worked for Ilayaraja sir and...
Amazing. We did this movie called Abbayeto Amai. So that was a Telugu film that he was working on. And just before that, I had started doing my Sanskrit rap. And we had a performance with Karthik Raja, his son, and for which he had invited his father to come and see it. So in that whole production, my nickname was Rap Samyar. Because I was dressed up as a Samyar, except I got up and I started doing a Sanskrit rap. So it was such a surprise to them that by the end of the show, when Ilayaraja sir came up to the stage, he said, "And the Rap Samyar Inga," and stuck in his name. So cut to about a couple of months later, his engineers were trying to get in touch. And when I got to the studio, they said, "Man, we've been trying to reach you for 3 days."
Wow.
And I said, "Why? You all have my number. Why didn't you call?" And we're all in Chennai. And he said, "Because sir kept saying, and the rap Samyar Kubla, rap Samyar Kubla." And none of us knew, who is this guy? And so every time he sees me, he says, rap Samyar Vanda. Let's do this. But again, that was amazing because he pays attention to every detail, every lyric, every syllable.
That's the message. Receive the light. The Blase, Ilayaraja sir, debut recording.
So generally you write mostly in English, or you also write, like in Tamil movies, you have some Tamil words in between, right?
So if it's mostly what I write is in English, but when we do have Tamil words coming in, or it's a mix and match of we'll work with a Madan Karki or any other Tamil lyricist. We'll sit down and work together, so that, structure the sentence, and then see which can...
So do you also work with the directors? They have a say, and because you have to write your own rap, which makes a big impact.
The biggest difference between singers and rappers is that, like, for a singer, everything is ready, and you just go in the studio, 1 hour, 2 hours, you're done.
Yeah, this is an important thing for the students to know, that the big difference between, usually I've seen singers walk into the studio because
everything is on a silver plate. You just have to sing it and you're done. The track is already ready.
Yeah.
But when you have to write your lyrics, you need to know why you're writing it, what you're writing it. So a song can take a month. You can have several sittings before you actually even get to writing, because you have to understand the director's story, his vision.
So you have meetings with the director and he tells you what to write and what is this about, how he is going to picturize and all that stuff?
Yes, with the music director. It's the music director, the director and the lyricist.
Wow.
So the rapping and singing part comes later, but you first have to do, and that's a great process, because a lot of other guys, because they're all singers, they don't get that opportunity.
They don't get to see the director at all,
time.
right? The actual movie director, they don't even see. They see the music director and they walk
Like, we just worked on Endiran 2.0.
Wow.
And so for that, Raman sir called me to the studio, and then from there we went to this grounds, EVP grounds, where they were shooting. Wow. And we had to go to the shoot just to meet director Shankar and figure out the lyrics. Madan Karki was also there. And you got to see Rajnikant in action.
Oh, wow, that's such an experience.
Yeah. So after that, you want to go and rap, you want to go and do stuff. So it's definitely a magical thing.
Can we a little bit talk about, I know I got your CD, Rap Bhakti Mala. Sanskrit is a tough language, one of my favorite languages. And how did you get in? Did you know Sanskrit before? Rapping and Sanskrit, it's a great thing. I don't know how you got into this.
Madaram maduram vadanam maduram nayanam maduram hasitam maduram hridayam maduram gamanam maduram maduradipate rakilam maduram.
Yo, my sister's there. Pass the CD. So that I can tell you about it.
Wow. So
this is the official CD for Flute Raman, who's now part of Rap Bhakti Mala.
Wow.
So there you go.
So Blase and Paul. So can you talk about a little bit how you got this idea and what's this project about?
So I as a child, you always listen to prayers, to slokas, to Sanskrit Vedas, and you recite them in a proper prayer way. And I came across this D.K. Patamal's version of Shamla Dandakam. And I took that to Paul, and I told Paul that, hey man, this is it now. Let me, this is like, so beautiful the way it is, and it's in her style, it's slow and all that, but should I, try and do an English meaning of it?
Because it's very rhythmic when I see Shankaracharya's Shivashtakam or, Madhurashtakam.
This has the Kala Bhairavashtakam in
Wow,
it. There's a
that's
Hanuman
amazing.
Chalisa.
Oh my God.
And so the idea was, when I told him that, hey man, this is what is inside me, so how would I bring it out in rap? He said, don't try and rap it in English, just try and rap that, learn that and rap that.
Wow, that must have been very difficult to...
Yes, it was a 2-year process. 2 years we stopped doing a lot of commercial work, a lot of film work, a lot of other work, because it involves that kind of dedication and effort. And by doing that every day and really giving it your sincerity, somewhere along the line you start to figure out how it's written, how all the syllables are meant to be pronounced, because pronunciation is very important.
So important,
in it.
yeah.
And beauty of Sanskrit is that more than any other language, when you sing or rap, especially fast stuff in Sanskrit, it opens all your vocal syllables, chords, everything, it opens it up.
Wow.
Because you have to say Jaya Janani Suddha Samudhranta Rudhyan Manadviba Samruddha Bilvatta Vilmadhya. It explores everything, and that makes it easier to rap in any other language.
Wow. Don't stop. I want to listen some more of this Sanskrit rapping. I think probably you are the first person to rap, take Sanskrit shlokas and do a rap on that. I have not heard anybody do this.
Now that's Devi's blessing. So yeah, if that's the way she wants it, that's the way.
Yeah, that's great. Can you please do some more? It's really nice.
Jaya Janani Suddha Samudhranta Rudhyan Manidviba Samruddha Bilvatta Vilmadhya Kalpadruma Kalpakadamba Kantara Vasa Priye Kirti Vasa Priye Sarvaloka Priye Sadhara Rabda Sangita Sambhavana Sambrahmalola Nipasragha Baddha Chuli Sanatatrike Samad Putrike Shekhari Bhuta Sitam Surekha Mayukha Valibadda Susnigda Nilalaka Shreni Shingharite Loka Sambhavite Kamalila Danusanni Babrulata Puspa Sandoha Sandeha Krilochane Baksuda Sechane Charu Goro Chanapanka Keli Lama Birame Surame Rame. And it goes on for 26 minutes.
Wow, amazing, amazing.
The beauty of that is the more you say it and the more you feel it, even if you don't understand the language, there's a vibration that.
Of course, yeah, I completely understand that, vibration. That sound semantics is one of my favorite subjects, so I know how it works. So that's so amazing. And so that's the CD. It has tracks. What are the tracks?
Yes,
all of them are in Sanskrit.
There is one song which is in English, which like most of them, they're written by, like I said, Kalidas, by Sri Vallabhacharya, all of these great guys. And there's one song I wrote which is called Dear Ganga, because the thought behind that was everybody's talking about cleaning the Ganga and purifying it, but the song says that we don't even deserve the Ganga if we're messing it up so much.
Wow.
The song in English talks about, I want the Ganga to go back up to Shiva and come down when we promise to take care of her.
Oh, that's so thoughtful.
It's because we're literally just abusing her. And so that way, and it's a song that A.R. Rahman tweeted about because it had some amazing message in it.
Oh, that's so nice.
And it's important for people to know that.
I think if people want to look up for that song, they can
yes,
see it on your Twitter page.
It's on iTunes, it's on Amazon, it's everywhere, it's on Spotify, Rap Bhakti Mala.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So it's really nice, and I really want you to do a big tour of this, and so that many places. I think it's very inspiring for the kids that they can rap a shloka, they can rap something in Sanskrit. Like you said, that Alpa Prana, Mahaprana, all that works. So I know voice culture is also very important, and your thought process should be you should be really alert while rapping, right? So, what are the things you learned by yourself by doing rapping for this many years? Can you give some tips which they can use it for students for
Yes.
their learning?
On this website that you're seeing up here, carnaticlessons.com, if you go to the box on the right, it's going to say raplessons.com. Okay, so all you got to do if you want to know more is tell Mr. Flute Raman that I want to know about rap. And he's going to put a little link there. And
Yeah, I really want you to do some workshops during your tour, and so that more. Can you also? I heard that you did a workshop in New Jersey this
Yes.
tour. So can you talk about your workshop? What the kids learned and how was the experience
Yes,
teaching kids?
it was the launch of the rap workshop. It's called the Rap Club, and it's at this Bharat Nitya Academy. And the founder and the teacher is my sister, so A.K Srinivasan. So we basically did a workshop there just to get the message out there that I never had a teacher when I wanted to rap.
Wow.
And
yeah.
my only inspirations were gangster rap. Okay, and that's all you took, but you were able to twist it around and find your own message. Now I'm thinking that if a kid wants to rap and he was given a story or given guidance onto how to get your voice and find your story, he wouldn't be trying to copy and talk about things which he has not lived. We had kids from 7 till like 17 who were in the class, and each one had a rap name, and by the end of it, 3 hours was the workshop, and they started rapping. They all wrote their one verse, and one was rapping about how much he loves food, one was rapping about how much he hated school homework and the stress and the pressure. So it's also great self-therapy. It's a de-stressor. And that's like a scientific thing that's been proven, to get your thoughts out, and it's within you, and once you put it on paper, it's out. So you're not harming or hurting anybody, it's just releasing all your emotions through words.
Absolutely. Also, rap has a lot of rhythm, right? So usually is it 2/4 or do you have all kinds of rhythms?
There are all kinds of rhythms. The most amazing thing that I discovered was the Shamla Dandakam is most powerful when you say it on that 3/4.
Wow.
Or at 3/5. Or it's not on a 2/4. It can also work like that, but when it janani suddha samudrantha rudyan manidviba samruddha bilvata vilmadya kalpadruma kalpakadamba kantara vasa, on those when it hits the meter, then it's got an effect. So it's just up to you to
discover and you decide. It's like composing from scratch, like you figure out which
is most comfortable for you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Amazing. We are so happy. And also now since your sister has been teaching dance, and you know how students learn here. I also always ask musicians and legends like yourself to give some tips to the parents. Say if one kid wants to take up rap and learn more, what are the tips you want to give it to the parents? How to?
I think as a parent, your job is to encourage whatever the art form may be, whether it's rap or singing or dancing or anything. So the most important thing is just to listen to what the child is saying, to understand where is the thought process heading. And if it is heading towards a rap thing, instead of immediately turning on a gangster song, turn on something else that can get you to just explore yourself and your stories, but mostly just to listen and to encourage them, because you never know where the next superstar is going to be. He's sitting right there in your bedroom.
Exactly. So that was really nice perseverance. Like you waited for such a long time, but still you didn't give up, and not giving up, and you followed your heart.
And we're still following, because now from Chennai, I'm sitting right here in Virginia, USA, with Flute Raman, the legend. So that itself is a message to you guys that just because you're rapping doesn't mean you're sitting in the ghetto. It's like you can travel the world.
Yeah, that's such a pleasure that you are here in the studios. Once again, friends and students, this was Blase.
And this is Flute Raman.
And what's your real name? You didn't talk about your real name.
Lakshmi Narasimha Vijaya Rajagopala Sheshadri Sharma.
Oh my God! Is that what is in your passport?
Yeah. So at home they call me Rajesh. But
Wonderful. So it was such a pleasure meeting him. And of course, I have heard all his famous songs for all these great movie directors, and you all can see his clips on YouTube and His website, I will put a link down below so you can follow. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.